barber quarter in this rock here. I know barber quarters are normal, but to find it like that makes it a little more unique. The reason why I'm hunting this area is because of where the barnacle line is at. That indicates where the sand normally is. And along this beach here, the sands change constantly. And so the further down it is along this line, gives you a better chance of finding something that could be really good. You can look up and down the beach, you don't see where it's down as low as this spot right here. So it gives you a good indication to start right in this point right here. You have to be there enough times to understand it. You can't just walk out there and think you know where it is. You have to really learn to read it. Because things change daily. I've seen areas change within 4 feet within 2 days. What I'm trying to do right here is I'm trying to search the lowest spots that I can find. And right along the sides of the rocks, quite often, is where you find the coins, because they have a tendency of, with the sand changing, going underneath the rocks. It doesn't even hurt to move rocks around sometimes. This wrench here was a thing, what I thought was going to be my last find of the year of 2004. I had probably about an hour left of sunshine, or daylight I should say. I thought, oh, I'm not going to find anything else. There was no other signals around the area. So I did keep hunting for about 5-10 minutes more. And then I did seem to come up with one other slight difference of an item. But this gold ring right here, a gold diamond ring, which I think is probably my best ring I've ever found throughout the years. And I think I just went out in a blast last year at the end of the year with this. One of the things that I find that's intrinsic is that I can help the environment. Lead has a tendency of leaching into the ground. It can do all kinds of damage. And people hear about groundwater that has high lead contents. Well, by removing some of the lead when we're out metal detecting, you're doing the ground a good favor. You're doing the rivers a good job and helping protect things. Removing the trash, you can always recycle that stuff.
With Mark's extensive history in metal detecting, his greatest joy comes in teaching children about the hobby.
When I teach kids, which I do for metal detecting, that's the first question I ask them, and always get the same first answer. Is to find treasure. And in a sense, everything you find is treasure. So it's enjoyable.
With so much treasure in his collection, Mark's ultimate goal is to find something not too many other treasure hunters are looking for.
My ultimate find would be something like going to some ghost town or someplace I've done research on, and to find in a mason jar somebody's diary, a story of somebody, something that I could just learn a lot of information from. I would think that would be the most interesting, the most fascinating thing I could ever do.
When we return, Digger Bob will show off his prize gold nugget he found in the Nevada desert. Welcome back to Treasure Hunting America. Our next treasure hunter goes by the name of Digger Bob, who began his adventure in metal detecting by prospecting for gold with his high school English teacher.
I got interested in gold in high school when an English teacher took me out gold panning. What kept me going was being able to find something, not right away. It took me a couple of trips, and I had to keep going back and just persevering. So I think I went out 3 or 4 times before I finally found a piece in the same place that we'd been going all this time. But before that day was over, I had 6 or 8 little pieces. Really, for me, it's a part of just chasing history. I love the 49er era, the gold rush, the California gold rush, and to be able to literally put myself in their footsteps, just like we are today, that really is the biggest benefit. The hardships that they had to go through just to get here, and then the enormous amount of work that they had to do to extract the gold from the ground. Life was unbelievably hard. To me, a metal detector is my time machine. There's no greater thrill to me to dig something out of the ground, even if it's no more than just a small little ball of lead, but because you know, you've done your research and you know what that little ball of lead is. You know it's not a fishing sinker. You know it's a musket ball. It has no more value than a fishing sinker, but it has historical value because you know that the last person that held that, the last person to see that, was a dying immigrant coming across the Black Rock Desert in Nevada, trying to reach the promised land of California. And you're the first person to see that and touch that since it was lost 160 some years ago. That's a good sound. Now I'm going to check and see if it's iron. Turn the iron ID on. Okay, that's a good target. We're down on the bedrock here. You see that bedrock? It's solid rock, but it chips pretty easily with a pick. Got it. This is usually the, yeah, there we go. Oh, oh look, there it is. Well, that's a nice little piece. We discovered that there's a lot of gold over in Nevada to be found, not only here in the California Mother Lode, but Nevada gold is very coarse, it's very rough, and it's very pretty. Well, about 2 years ago, my buddy and I went over in March, just the two of us, went to this one place that we had found the year before in the fall and never had completely hunted out. We hunted for an entire day out there and didn't find a thing. The next morning, my buddy went back into town to pick up a friend of his, and while he was gone, I decided to go out and hunt for a little bit, and if we didn't find anything, we were going to move on to another place.